All right, let us start. Now, there are about like 40-50 new people in the group today. So we will take all of your introductions at the end of the session. The first 15 minutes or 20 minutes, we go on with what is it that we are going to do, so that all these questions, everything that is there about whether will I be able to do it or not, these questions can be understood. These things can be understood. Right. Now, we sent a message about the lung health Yog Pranayam. Now, in that context, we invited all of you and you have come. And today is the first day. And the first introduction session, we said that yogic approach to the human body. That's the thing that we posted in the group. Right? All right. So right now we all know the situation, how the COVID is going on, and how the situation is just turning out. The person is all right, and within just weeks time, within just 3-4 days time, everything just turns out. Everything just like becomes upside down, and we are losing many people. Then I felt like there are so many things that have been given in our text or from our ancestors that are useful and that can be practiced regularly to get benefited out of this. So out of this, particularly to the lungs, what is it they are really beneficial, how we can really increase the lung capacity and all that. So before starting that, we must approach this entire physical body as one. Then we move on to the part of the lungs. Now, everybody, I mean, in the therapy or especially the treatments, each one has got its own approach. For example, allopathy approaches the physical body in different way. Ayurveda approaches the physical body in one way with vata, pitta, kapha, and homeopathy has a different approach to the human body and to the treatment, and similarly the yoga. And how do they say? How do they see this entire thing? There are different ways of seeing here. One is the Pancha Koshas. This entire thing is like the 5 sheets or 5 koshas: Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Those who have done SSY or those who have done or who are practicing yoga for some time, you might be aware of these things. And similarly, they also approach this through the Shat Chakras. There are 7 chakras in the body, and then energy lifting up. And the other thing they have through the gunas, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, these 3 gunas. So like this, various approaches are there. Now, let us understand one of the important approaches in the yoga that is given is prana. The 5 pranas, Pancha Pranas. All of you had heard this about Pancha Pranas anytime? They say, like, when the person dies or in movie dialogues, Pancha Pranas goes into air, or like they have gone, they left. We heard this many times. So even in the rituals, even when we perform, when we do the puja, they do this. Pranaya Swaha, Apana Swaha, Udana Swaha, Vana Swaha. These Pancha Pranas, they do mention. It is there in many things. So what are those 5 Pancha Pranas? How do they work? Where are they in our body, and what is the function? Let us understand. Once we are clear with this thing, then we can have some kind of approach or some kind of understanding about our own physical system or the entire the psychological system. Now, all of us know the prana, and prana is what? The simple breath we think. But depending upon how it works in the body, the functionality, they divided into 5 things that we said. The first one, prana. The second one, apana. Third one, samana. The fourth one, udana. And fifth one, vyana. Now, where is the prana? And where is the physical location of the prana? We take inhalation, breath. The physical location of the prana is this region, the chest. So the parts in the region is the lungs, the heart, and of course this entire region. Here the prana works basically. This is the inward movement. And similarly, we have got the apana. So below the navel, below the abdomen, the downward movement is apana. The physical location is, of course, all the this part, the gases that we send out, or the functions of the apana is to take care to regulate the eliminatory the elimination of the unnecessary things from the body, right? So even when the child has to burn, the apana has to push the child out, and the genitals, all these things, that is where the apana work. And the samana, the in between the prana and apana is samana, the digestive force at the navel, that is the samana prana, where it takes care of the digestion, the preservation and maintenance. These are the functions of these things. And then we have the udana. Basically, this is the upward movement from the throat, upper chest, and head and brain. The thought, the speech, the growth, and the nervous system, the laughing, the crying, all these things, they are due to this udana prana, right? And then we have the vayu, which is spread across the body. Basically, or like we can say something like our peripheral nervous system, right? This pervades our entire body. So these are the like places where these five pranas live. And again, according to these five pranas, they subdivided these pranas into another five. So they call it like another one is naga prana. Naga prana is basically, it is of like after having food we the burping or the hiccups. These are all these things are caused by the naga vayu or naga prana, right? It actually removes the blockages in the prana and apana. This is the function of this. And similarly, we have the kurma vayu. So we all close our eyes and we blink, right? So this blinking happens due to this kurma prana, right? And we have something called devadatta prana. Devadatta prana, functionality of the devadatta prana is like the yawning or the sleep related, those things, it happens, it takes care. And similarly, one more rupa prana is krikara or krikala, they call it krikala. Basically, we sneeze, right? The thing. So the sneeze, coughing, and hunger, thirst, these things happen due to the krikara prana. And finally, we have Dhananjaya, which resides at the heart, like rather like it opens the walls close to the heart. And when the Dhananjaya prana is disturbed so seriously, normally the heart attack happens. This is their approach. Now, till here, everybody is clear about five pranas and five upapranas. You heard. You need not to remember, nothing to remember, no exam. I'm just giving you some kind of information. We are having a kind of approach towards the body. Clear, right? I will repeat. What are the five pranas? Prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana, entire body. And the functionality we have known. And upapranas, naga, kurma, devadatta, krikala, and dhananjaya. These are the five upapranas. I told you to keep one notebook yesterday before coming. If at all anybody is interested, you may keep, no problem. Even if you don't remember, it is not an exam or nothing. All that is needed is we have to practice. Now, the real crux comes here. All these vayus, all these pranas, they are there in one ratio, a proper ratio. When this ratio gets disturbed, then we start experiencing the problems in the physical body. For example, a lot of us understand about the apana so fast and so quick. When the apana prana is disturbed, or when it is not controlled properly, or when it is not in proper ratio, when it is excessive, now you tell me, what are the problems do you face? Obviously, the acidity, right? Yes. And what more? Mute. Joshima, unmute कीजिए.
हाँ, सारे digestive disorders हो जाएंगे. Constipation है.
हाँ, constipation. Yes, exactly. When apana is disturbed, you get the constipation. Correct. Yes. Very nice. Thank you. And anybody would like to share more on this? Digestion is something is there. I'll tell you in the next one. So the constipation, the piles, right? These are the problems, or rather like diseases that affect the lower abdomen, the intestine, or the kidneys, urinary tracts. All these are due to the disturbance of the apana prana, where it is excess or it is not there in proper ratio. So we have to maintain that ratio, right? So that's with difference to the apana. And then prana, of course. Right now the whole world is, the suffering from this. When the prana gets disturbed, what is it we face? Or it is not there sufficiently. Where do we get the problems? I said here. Exactly. So the respiratory problems. So now that is what is happening. Some foreign body is coming, foreign thing is coming into the body and disturbing the whole entire pranic flow here. Hence, it is not able to distribute the entire prana and it's not working. And of course, people are dying. So basically, the heart or the lung, all these diseases are due to the prana vayu disturbance. And it gives a lot of lethargy when it is fully not present in the system. You look at any child is bubbling, jumping, and energy so much because child has a lot of prana. And whereas an adult or who is on the bed, who is shallowing very little, has very little prana. Very difficult to be at that enthusiastic, right? Okay, so these are the problems that we experience out of the prana. And then let's now talk about the samana prana, which is more important. Actually, in the Upanishad also they gave a sequence how the human spirit is living. It is dependent on the prana. Where the prana is dependent on apana. Where the apana is dependent, like they gave a sequence. And finally, they say that the samana is the ground one, base one, most important one. And what did we say about samana prana, samana vayu?
In between pran and apan.
Maintenance.
In between,
right?
In between pran and apan.
Yes, exactly. In between prana and apan, it is there. So when the samana prana is disturbed, we encounter the digestive problems and thereby the all related issues along with the digestion. By the way, all these 5 things are very much interrelated and very much connected. They are not dependent by itself. They work together. So now what happens is the chest and the apana, in between the samana is there. So when the apana is more, it starts occupying the samana place. That's where we get the acid reflection and then here this burning and all these things. It is kicking out. Actually, the apana has to go down. It is designed for downward movement, but it's occupying the different area, different zone, and naturally body is suffering. And you feel that so much of this, the burning sensation and all of that. Right? We all experienced it. And similarly, we have got the now udana. The main function of the udana is the cognition and the communication part, like as we said, the thought, speech, or all these things. When it is disturbed, we encounter this kind of problem. Some people, they are like this. They don't have expressions in their face. Always moody thing. What do you think the problem with them? So this udana prana has it has got I mean it is not there in proper ratio. It needs to be increased so that the expression happens very nice and the liveliness is shown out, expressed out. And similarly, the vyana, when the vyana is down, we have that numbness, like we experience many times the numbness of the poor peripheral, the circulation, all these things happen due to the vyana. Now we understood what are the pranas and what is the function, and like when it is blocked, what happens. Now the thing comes about pranayama or the yoga, the importance of yoga. What does the yoga do? What does the pranayama do? When you do the pranayama, it regulates the entire human body and keeps the ratio of all panchapranas or the upapranas intact in balanced way. For example, you are doing the Brahmari, right? Most of you know, the regular people, the regular people, we have been doing it, but I never shared this information with all of you. Today I thought of sharing. So when we are doing Brahmari, what is happening? Which prana is getting activated? This. Right. So the Udana prana, the upward movement, it gets activated. And similarly, somebody is facing the problem with the Apanavayu. And I have shown you something in a few days back. What is the thing that we can do for to regulate that, to get it under control?
Nauli,
Yes.
Nauli.
Nauli, exactly. Perhaps new people may not be knowing it, but we will learn that. The Nauli Kriya, when you do the Agnisara Kriya or Nauli Kriya, that completely takes care of the Apan Vayu, and it regulates and it maintains the proper ratio. If the excess is there, it sends out, or if it is not there, it gets and makes it equalized. Right? And of course, along with that, other things are there. The mudras are there, asanas are there, many other things are there. But right now, we are focusing on the pranayam for this 1 month. We do the asanas, but little less comparatively. And similarly, somebody is having the problem at the chest. What is that it can help? The regular people can say. The Bastrika Pranayam, because it fundamentally majorly works on the lungs, or the mudra that we have, right? So similarly, the asanas, the Bhujangasana or the Dhanurasana, all these things, they do help, right? So now, understanding the importance of the lung health, we have designed this course exclusively, or rather to take care of the lungs more effectively than the other parts. Not that we don't do other things, because it is all interdependent. When the whole body is healthy only, we can be healthy, or the lungs can be healthy. It is not that suddenly some sort of thing will happen to the lungs and then instantly I'm healthy in the lungs, right? So holistically approach the entire body, but more focus will be there on the lungs. This is how we will proceed and go ahead with this entire course. And I posted you how to join to the course. And every day morning 6:15 you will come. Before that, you will have the Bhagavad Gita chanting from 6:05 to 6:20. We will have the chanting of Bhagavad Gita, that Dinamo place. We all listen to the Bhagavad Gita, that gives a lot of thing. This COVID thing, I'm sorry, let me jump into the different thing, going back. One of the important aspects of the prana, what is mentioned in the scriptures or the text, is the Atma Bala. What do you mean by Atma Bala? The courage that increases your prana a lot, they say. And you can just think logically. Whenever you are fearful, your body becomes very weak, and then body shivers and shakens. When you are so much fearful, when there is a threat, this is what happens. But when you are confident and courageous, you are ready to face anything. That Atma Bala, that Dhairya, Sthairya is more important. So this is what everybody is saying about the COVID. Don't get fear. Don't be afraid. Have courage, strength. That Atma Bala is more important. That you can face. After all, some millions of viruses are there around us. Right? This is one virus. Right now, we have got all the equipment to test it out. Right? So nothing to worry about it. When the situation comes, we will face if it is needed. But we do take precautions. We do strengthen our immunity systems. And for the immunity system, what is more important? Again, the Apan Vayu actually strengthens our immunity. So we do all these things. Right now, I'm just giving you the theory, the information. Later on, when we do the practice, I just hint you what to do. And if anybody has got, not that everybody has same lung problem, different people have got different problems. Which people should do what, which needs to be avoided. All that instructions will be given. And this course will go very beautifully for about 1 month. And 6:15 we come, and 7:30, 7:35. Let's just keep about 5-10 minutes gap in case here and there happens. We leave, and in one Sunday, about like any one of the Sundays, you will have to spend about 4 to 5 hours of your time doing one of the kriyas, very important kriyas this time, and all the instructions will be given very clearly, and you will be able to do it. Don't think that you cannot do it, or like you're beginner, you're new. I know that I very well that some of you are starting very fresh, some of you are experienced, but this course is designed for everybody to get benefited. All the instructions will be very clear. Within 2-3 days, you will understand what kind of instructions you will be receiving, or whether you will be able to do it. You will gain the confidence in 1 or 2 days. That's about it. And then